Hi everybody, I'm Shayda and welcome to my kitchen. And I'm going to show you today some of Persian plant-based cooking that I've started doing and adapting it to the way that we eat. So today's recipe is going to be lentils and rice with dates and raisins. Typically this rice is made with meat and, well no, actually it's a vegetarian dish, but they do add a lot of oil to it. And but in this recipe we're not going to make anything with oil. And what I've done with this recipe actually is I've decided to make it, because our rices take a while to make, but I've decided for this one, I'm going to show you what to do in the rice cooker. And I've made it easy so that if there is a Trader Joe's around you, I've used this entire bag of this brown rice medley. Now, this does have wheat in here, so if you are staying away from wheat, I will at the end of this go through it and show you exactly what to do so that you don't have to use this bag and you can just use plain brown rice. But you want to use brown basmati rice because basmati has that fragrance to it and it's just a lot tastier. So what I've done with this bag is I've already washed it and rinsed it, because you do want to wash and rinse the rice.
And before you continue, Shayda, for those people that are new, perhaps tell us, you mentioned something about the way we eat. Can you just say a word about that?
Sure.
Because they may wonder what is the way that you eat.
So we eat a whole food plant-based diet that's free of any animal products, any oils, any kind of processed foods, and it's just a healthier way of eating. We don't eat anything that has a face on it. We don't use any dairies. We don't use any sugar. And the sugar that's typically used in this, could have been used in this recipe, I'm using dates. So even the sugar is coming from a whole food, and no salt. Our seasonings are going to be salt-free, but the seasonings, once you add it to this, has a lot of flavor. So in this rice, like I said, we're going to use this brown rice medley, which I've already washed and rinsed it several times. And you do want to do that with your rice that you get out of the package, because there's always like a little film on it, and it's just cleaner, right? We're going to use 1 cup of the green lentils. Now again, this has been rinsed and washed, and you do want to do that, and you're going to just pour that in here. So for right now, this is the only 2 ingredients that's going to go into this dish. The rest we're going to save until it's later. Adding the amount of water, because you've added lentils in here, there's a fine line. This rice, you don't want it to be mushy and sticky. You want the rice to be fluffy. Remember I was telling you in the car today that you're a bad cook, Persian cook, if the rice is sticky, because our rice, you want it to be airy and fluffy and just full of flavor. For this, you want to add water. I don't know if you can see the inside of the pot, but there's numbers on here.
Yes, that's right.
So we're going to go between 4 and about 4.5. That's what the measuring of the cup of water you want. And now all we're going to do is we're going to close the lid and we're going to push the button for brown rice. Well, actually, you're going to turn on the rice cooker first, and then you're going to hit the button for brown rice. Once that cooks, then we're going to start to add all of our seasonings. You don't want to add the seasonings to this water mixture. It's going to dilute it and the flavor's not going to be there and the essence is not going to be there. So once this has cooked, we're going to come back. We're going to show you that we add our seasonings, and we're going to add the dates, and we're going to add the raisins. And oh, Gustavo, you're in for a treat. Wait till you taste this.
Yes. So now tell me, while people are waiting for this to cook, they could be chopping or getting some of the things ready.
They can start getting the seasonings ready. They can get the dates ready, because you want to get medjool dates, or you want to get the deglet noor dates. I prefer the deglet noor dates only because it's less sweet. The medjool dates are super sweet right now for me, so I prefer the deglet noor. And we're going to chop those up. And actually I can show you, Gustavo was kind enough to chop these up for me while I was trying to get ready. So you did a great job, by the way, so thank you.
Well, I have to earn my right to
this is fantastic.
Okay,
so
good.
We've got chopped dates here. That's ready to go. We've also got a good amount of black raisins. Make sure when you buy your raisins that you're buying sun-dried.
Sun-dried.
Sun-dried, because you want to read the ingredient list. They've started adding oil to this.
Oh.
Okay, so you got to be really careful where you're buying. Trader Joe's, Costco, they have it, but make sure that it says sun-dried, and when you look on the ingredient list that it just says raisins, nothing else.
Right.
If you can find currants, and if you prefer currants and you can find it without oil, by all means, you could add currants to this. If you want to leave this out, again, leave it out. If you want to put more raisins in, add more raisins. You know, cooking is not a science like baking. Baking, you need the exact amounts. And if there's certain flavors that you like more of, go ahead and add that. It's going to be tasty. You're not going to go wrong. Especially in this recipe, we're adding. If you want to look, we're adding cinnamon. We're going to add cardamom. We're going to add roasted cumin, black pepper, and the magic here, saffron.
Saffron.
Saffron's going to be
That I saw
added.
that you were, what do you call it?
With a mortar.
With a mortar, yes.
Right, so saffron comes like in these red threads.
Right.
And you don't want to just throw the threads in there. So I've got this little mortar thing, and then you just grind it, and it becomes like a powder. So it's going to be easier to use.
Right.
And I'll show you down the road. Well, on this one, I'm going to be sprinkling it on top. But if you follow me, we're going to be, we're going to be doing other webinars. We will show you exactly how to water down the saffron so you can add it to your rice, and it's, oh my goodness, it's so good. Hi everybody, guess what? The rice is ready. We're going to open up the lid and let some of this steam out first. And then what I want you to do is take your spatula and just kind of fluff the rice. See how it's fluffy? Okay, next we're going to add your spices. Now, like I mentioned before, these are all your spices. It's the cardamom, it's the saffron, it's the cumin, and it's the cinnamon and black pepper. So we're going to sprinkle this all over the rice. And then we're going to toss this so that it gets all mixed. Really, do you smell it?
No, yes.
You eat this with a salad, you eat it by itself.
Okay.
What I was going to mention to you guys, we're just going to let this cook in there for a little bit. What I was going to mention to you guys, for those of you that are gluten intolerant, not gluten, or wheat intolerant, I should say, you can easily make this dish without the wheat. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your lentils, you're going to cook that separately. You're going to go ahead and put your brown rice in here so you can get, if you go to 3 cups of brown rice, you go to the 3rd level of the water, and you're going to cook your brown rice in here. Once the brown rice has cooked, go ahead and add the lentils to this mixture, add your seasonings, add your currants, add your dates, and mix it all together. So it's easy to do, it's not hard to do at all, but that's how you would convert it. And if you're trying to be leaving the wheat out. So that's another way of doing this rice. And then we're going to go ahead and serve this, and we're going to have Gustavo try it.
Yes.
And we'll get the feedback on it. But look how beautiful this is.
It is.
And there's nothing, and if you really wanted to, and for those of you that don't want to do dates or don't want to do raisins, by all means, just do the brown rice and just do the lentils and add the seasonings. It's delicious, absolutely delicious on its own. So you've got many ways of making this dish. Hi everybody, welcome back. Our dish is done, it's completed, and I wanted to show you the final product. Here it is. It's absolutely delicious, and I've put some aside for Gustavo right now. I want him to try it. He's bouncing up and down. He's wanting to try this. So yes. Here you go, my friend.
Oh, Shayda, this is amazing. What a combination of, you would never think that this combination would work.
Right, but the flavors blend, right?
Yes, and the blend of the rice, and the lentils. I love lentils. Thank you. Okay, now you can leave me alone. I'm gonna go finish my
Okay, he's gonna go finish eating the rice. For our second recipe for the webinar, we're going to make an herb rice. And in this dish, there's a lot of fresh herbs. As you can see, there's fresh mint, there's cilantro, there's dill, there's onions, green onions, there's basil, there's everything is in here. And you will get the full recipe of this dish. Now, I go ahead and wash my herbs. A lot of people don't do this, and they say that with herbs you should not wash them. But I can't. Even if it's organic, I gotta wash it. And when I was with Dr. Furman, he taught me something really good to do with the herbs when you're washing them. So he says that once you've washed it, you lay it out on top of the towel, and if they're not 100% dry, just roll it up back in the towel and put it in the refrigerator. The next day, it is as fresh as can be, and you can just let it dry naturally. It is so good. It's so clean and easy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the herbs that we have, and we're going to chop it up in the food processor. And it's going to take about 2 batches to do this. And you don't want to get it too finely chopped. Now what I've done in this recipe, we are going to make this with brown rice. Making brown rice is exactly the same way as making white rice. You still do the parboiling, you still wash it, you still do all of that. But what we're going to do, I just wanted you guys to see that even with brown rice, you can still get the tahdig. We're going to take our chopped herbs that we've done, and we're going to pour it on top. And we're going to continue chopping our fresh herbs until it's done. This dish is typically made for the Persian New Year, and they serve it with white fish. But we're not doing fish, right?
We're not doing any fish.
No. So this, like I said, this typically is made during the Persian New Year, which is March 20th, right?
Oh, wow.
So we're going to mix this a little bit before adding the rest of it.
Very colorful.
Yes, it's for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
But do you smell how fragrant this is?
It is so. It just smells so good.
It smells fresh.
And you're using the S blade.
Make sure you mix this really, really well. You want all the greens to be mixed. You don't want the greens to be in the bottom, and then we have a lot of white. So that looks pretty good. What do you think?
Yes, it's very...
So we're going to add this to the pot. We're going to start adding it to our pot.
This rice is part boiled, so it's not ready to eat yet.
No, it's not. It's not ready to eat.
You're showing how you do the part boil and how you do this tahdig in our next webinar.
Absolutely. If you want to learn how to make tahdig, you need to sign up for our webinar. And what I'm going to do is add fresh garlic cloves in between the layers of the rice.
Ooh.
And all you do is just put them down in here. And I'm sorry, but the more the garlic, the tastier this gets. It is so flavorful.
I haven't seen you do that with the other. This is only for this dish?
No, I'm actually going to do it for another dish as well. So stay tuned.
All right.
I have a little secrets up my sleeve. I can't tell you.
You can't give them all away the first time.
No. I can't give you all my secrets. So now we're going to add a little bit more garlic because, you know, we don't have enough, right?
No, it's never enough.
Are you a garlic fan as well?
Yeah, I have put garlic on everything. Other than oatmeal, then I don't put garlic on it.
No, somehow I don't think that's going to be very tasty.
No.
right, so let's just put a few more garlic cloves on there. And in the recipe, I'm going to say, you know, to your taste. Because, you know, there's people, believe it or not, there are people out there that don't like garlic.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt is one of them. If she sees the garlic in there, if she smells it, she won't eat it. But
Really?
9 out of 10, I hide it in the food. She has no clue that it's in there.
Right.
And then she goes, see, Shayda cooks without garlic. I like it. I'm just,
Oh,
and
sure,
we're all laughing
Yeah,
because that's
inside.
so not true. It's so not true. Gotta get every little morsel in here. Now, we're gonna take that. We're gonna go all the way punch a hole in there. And our rice
You
is
made
ready.
2 eyes and a mouth.
Yes, 2 eyes and a mouth right there.
Okay.
So we'll see you shortly when this is done. I wanted to show you the rice that I use for the brown rice. This is Indian brown basmati rice, and it's extra long grain. Basmati is very fragrant, and that's what we like to use when we're doing a lot of our Middle Eastern cooking. I bought this from Amazon. I bought 2 of these from Amazon. So I wanted to make sure that for those of you that are living in areas where you cannot, you don't have access to a Middle Eastern store, that you can get the brown rice that is called for. And you can certainly get this on Amazon. Again, it's called the Pride of India, and it's available on Amazon. So we're back. The herb rice should be ready. Let's open it up and see. Oh, yeah. Oh, and the fresh garlic that's in here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the smell. That was a little bit different from the others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's, yes.
You see it right there?
Yeah. Mm.
As you can see, you can make our dishes, the Persian rice dishes, with any rice. You can make it with brown rice and you can make it with white rice.
Mm-hmm.
The process is completely the same, and as you will see in our future webinars, we teach you exactly step by step how to make this delicious rice with the tahdig. Here's the fresh garlic.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And it is so fluffy and ooh, look at that. Delicious. So this is the herb, right? The herb rice?
The herb rice with the fresh garlic.
And you can see the garlic here. So just nobody gets close to me, okay? I love garlic. I love herbs. I love rice.
Yes!
I love you, Shayda.
Oh, I love you too.
Delicious.
So here's the final finished product. It's brown rice, herb rice, tahdig. So tahdig can be made with either white rice or with brown rice. But stay tuned for future webinars so that we can teach you exactly how to make it.